Good evening, this is Julian Cross. You're listening to GhostLine. Tonight, we're watching the ordinary slip into unexpected, the familiar, bending in ways that almost feel invisible, until they don't. Here are the stories we're following tonight. Our first story comes out of New York, New York. At one of the town's small commuter rail stops, officials are reporting a tragic incident that occurred earlier this evening. A young woman was struck and killed by a northbound passenger train as she stood on the platform. Investigators and surveillance footage shows her positioned near the far end of the platform, close to the tunnel where the train emerges. For several seconds, she appeared focused on her phone, scrolling or reading, seemingly unaware of her proximity to the edge. Witnesses described her movements as slow and almost hesitant at first, stepping forward just slightly, adjusting her bag, glancing down at the screen, before suddenly leading into the train's path without any warning. One commuter waiting nearby told officials, "I saw her looking at the phone, and I thought she was just distracted. Then, in an instant, she seemed to step right into it. There was no scream, no sudden movement. It just happened." Emergency services pronounced her deceased. Transit officials say they were reviewing platform safety procedures after several similar incidents across the region this month, emphasizing that a moment's lapse in attention can have fatal consequences. A quiet near the empty platform, the rhythm of a regular evening, and then a single moment of distraction with irreversible consequences. It's the sort of thing most of us think we're careful about, until we aren't. That's our first story tonight. Our second story tonight comes from a quiet neighborhood just outside of District 7, New York State. Residents there have been noticing something unusual, and not in the way you might expect. For the past week, flocks of local birds, mostly starlings and sparrows, have been avoiding a single street. Entire groups that normally settle in the trees or on rooftops now circle above, hesitant enough that people have started watching them, day after day, almost expecting them to land, but they don't, not once. One neighbor told local reporters, "It's like they know something we don't. I watched a flock pass over my house, swoop down towards the corner, and then veer off at the last second. I've lived here 20 years. I've never seen anything like it," they reported. Another resident posted video online showing the flocks looping back and forth, hesitant, almost testing the street like it's a boundary. And every time they change course. Wildlife experts have been consulted. They suggest predators, migration patterns, or weather anomalies, but nothing explains the consistency, the precision, the days-long repetition. Some people have started avoiding the street themselves. Mail is delayed, dogs bark, even the street lights seem too still when the birds pass. Nothing dangerous has happened, not yet, but the air carries that quiet tension, the feeling that the world is watching, noticing, waiting. Ordinary streets, ordinary trees, and yet some invisible signal has shifted. For those living along that block, the neighborhood often feels different now, just a little colder, a little sharper. The birds have left the ground, but they've left something behind, the sense that nothing, not even the natural world, is entirely predictable. Our final story tonight comes from a residential corridor in District 4, New York State. Residents there have been noticing something small but unsettling. Things disappearing. Keys, wallets, mail, pens, even the odd pair of shoes left on a porch. Nothing valuable, nothing unusual in isolation. But when it happens day after day, week after week, it starts to feel deliberate. One tenant told local reporters, "I left my keys on the counter in the morning. By the time I got home, they were on the windowsill. I don't live alone, but no one else is in the building during the day. I checked the security footage. Nothing moves. Nothing. Another resident described similar incidents. I'd put a package by the door, come back an hour later, it's back inside, on the table, like it walked in by itself. And then the next day, the same thing. It's hard to explain, but it's unnerving. Building managers and local authorities have been consulted. Some suggest misplacement, human error, or even pranks. But the patterns are too consistent. Items vanish and reappear with precision, sometimes move just enough to be noticed, never destroyed, never truly lost. What unnerves people most isn't the items themselves. It's the feeling of being watched, of the quarter paying attention to their routines. The ordinary becomes unpredictable. The familiar becomes slightly wrong. Residents say it's hard to leave the house without checking twice, 3 times even. Keys, shoes, even something as small as a pen. All the things that anchor you to your day vanish and return in ways you can't explain. And every time, it's just enough to make you notice. It's not violent, not dangerous. It's just enough to make a person wonder if the world itself is quietly shifting around them.
All right. We're going to go back to the phone lines and take some calls. GhostLine, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I think my access card is acting up. My work access card.
Where are you trying to get in?
The maintenance entrance, Zone 2. Same door I've used every Tuesday for 5 years now. Tonight it didn't open.
What happened?
The reader lit up green, did the chime, nothing else. I tried again, same thing. So I waited. 5 minutes, maybe 10. Figured maybe the door was lagging or something.
And then?
Guy from the next shift came up behind me. Saw me standing there and kind of smiled like long night, yay? He swiped his card, door opened right away. He stepped back and motioned for me to go first. I took a step, and the door slammed shut, right in front of us both. We just kind of looked at each other. He actually laughed and said, "That's a new one."
Try again?
Yep. He swiped his card again, door opened. This time, he held it all the way, so I walked through. And the second I cleared the threshold, the door slammed right behind me. Hard.
But you were inside.
Yep. That's the part that stuck with me. It let me in, it just didn't seem to want to let me in.
What did you do?
I went straight to my supervisor. I told him the door was acting strange. He checked my ID, said everything looked fine, told me if it happened again to let the facilities know. Then he asked me if I wanted to finish my safety refresher. I hadn't, so he signed me up for it on the spot. Didn't say anything else.
And you stayed?
Yep. Worked the whole shift, nothing else went wrong. I just kept thinking about that door.
You wanted it on the record?
Yeah, in case next time it doesn't open at all.
Fair enough. Thanks for calling. All right, next caller. GhostLine, go ahead.
Hi, I don't know if this is anything. I almost didn't call.
You're fine. What's going on?
I keep getting marked as missed. Not absent, not late, missed.
In what sense?
Appointments, meetings, things I was physically present for. I'll show up, check in, sit there. Then later I get a message asking why I didn't attend.
And you tell them you were there?
Yeah. Sometimes they apologize, sometimes they don't even answer. Once, they sent me a reschedule link for something I had already been to.
And how often is this happening?
Enough that I started taking screenshots. Sign-in screens, room numbers, timestamps, just in case.
In case of what?
I don't know. I guess in case someone asked me to prove I was there.
And has anyone?
Not yet. But it feels like they might.
And tonight was the first time you heard something similar?
Yeah, that guy with the door. It sounded familiar. Like the system knew he existed, just not enough to let him through easily.
You think this is the same thing?
I think it's adjacent. I don't feel erased. I just feel optional.
And he wanted that on the record.
Yep. Before it gets harder to say.
I hear you.
Thanks.
All right, time for another call. GhostLine, you're on.
Yeah, hi. I'm calling about the guy from earlier, the one with the door.
All right, what about him?
I know this is going to sound like I'm jumping to conclusions, and maybe I am, but what he described, that's already happening to me.
In what way?
Not the door part, the after part. The way he talked about it like it wasn't shocking, like he had already adjusted to it. That's what gave it away.
Gave what away?
That he's starting to go invisible. Not gone, just deprioritized.
That's a strong word.
I didn't start with it. I backed into it. At first, people stopped remembering small things about me. Meetings I was supposed to be in, conversations we already had. Then it was bigger things. My parents forgot my birthday this year. Not late, not busy, they forgot. When I corrected them, they didn't argue, they just moved on.
And you think that's connected to what we heard earlier?
Yeah. Because the system still works for him. He's scheduled, he's paid, he's allowed just enough, same as me.
So what do you think is happening?
I think the world's still acknowledging us, but it stopped investing.
And what would you want the caller to know?
We're background process now, still running, just not worth allocating any resources to. That the door didn't malfunction, it recognized him, it knew it was him, and it hesitated. That's what it looks like in the beginning. If he's listening, you should start paying attention to the small things. Because once people stop paying attention to you, they stop remembering you were ever there.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's why I called.
All right, we've got another caller on the line. This is Aaron. Aaron, you're on GhostLine.
Hi, Julian. I don't really have a story like the others did tonight.
Go ahead.
I've just been listening.
That's all right.
A lot of people calling in sound like they're trying to figure out what's happening to them. I don't think I am.
What do you think is happening?
I think things are narrowing, not disappearing, just getting thinner. I still go to work, and I still get paid. People still talk to me. It's just there's less room around me than there used to be.
And when did you start noticing that?
I don't know. It wasn't one moment. I stopped correcting people first. Stopped reminding them when they got something wrong. Not because I was tired. Because it didn't seem worth the effort anymore.
Where I come from, people don't love being corrected all the time.
Yeah, that may be okay.
I'm teasing, of course.
It just feels quieter now.
Quiet how?
Like, when I stay quiet, nothing pushes back. Which I know sounds strange, but it feels safer.
And that's why you called?
Yeah. I just wanted to say it out loud once, so I'd remember I noticed it.
I hear you, Aaron.
That's all. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, we've got another caller on the line. This is Kyle. Kyle, you're on GhostLine.
Julian, didn't see it today.
See what?
The odds got Harrington. Yeah, he's dead. Deadless confirmed.
Harrington.
Yep, a ghost got him. It was Gray Finch. That's how it works.
You're saying he was killed. Did you have money riding on him?
Nah. Nobody I knew did. Harrington was untouchable, or so we thought. Secure everything. Private security, armored routes, the whole deal. No one thought it would flip.
But he was on the dead list.
Exactly. I should have known. Once you're on the dead list, that's it. Doesn't matter how high you are. Sooner or later, the odds are gonna turn against you.
Do you know which ghost handled it?
Yeah, Gray Finch.
That's the handle they're using.
Yeah, he's legit. Low noise, clean. I think that puts him at, 8, 9 now. Depends on if you count the overseas hits.
You keep track?
I mean, people do. Some people think the Deadless is a joke, until it isn't. And today it wasn't.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Kyle.
Yeah, I had to say it out loud.
All right, we are going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
You didn't plan it, you just showed up. Same night.